Well, tonight, the Pentagon has 8,500 U.S. troops on heightened alert to deploy to Europe as tensions between Ukraine and Russia escalate. Eyewitness News anchor Siafa Lewis is following this developing story from the News Center. Siafa.
Good evening, Yuki. On the foreign policy front, U.S. officials, our NATO allies, and Ukrainian leaders are all waiting to see exactly what Russian President Vladimir Putin intends to do with the 100,000 troops he's amassed along the Russian-Ukrainian border.
As the president has said, even as we continue to prioritize diplomacy and dialogue, we must also increase readiness.
What that means is that 8,500 U.S. troops are preparing for further orders and could be deployed to NATO member countries in Eastern Europe, but not to Ukraine, which wants to join NATO but is not a member country. As for Putin, he has long been desirous of reforming the USSR. In 2014, he annexed the Ukrainian peninsula of Crimea, and over the weekend, the British government announced that they believe Putin plans to invade Ukraine and install a pro-Russia government to further push Russian influence westward.
The United States government is concerned, as indeed the whole world is, that the Russians, that Mr. Putin in particular, may decide to invade Ukraine.
The U.S. has also sent Ukraine an additional $200 million in emergency military assistance, and additional military equipment is expected to arrive on Tuesday.
We've never ruled out the option of providing additional assistance in advance of an invasion. Those discussions have been ongoing.
The Russians, meanwhile, insist that the troop buildup along the border is no cause for alarm and says they feel threatened by NATO member countries' influence in Ukraine, which includes the aforementioned military aid.
There are certain basic principles that we're not by one iota going to compromise on, including, for example, NATO's open door, the right of countries to choose with whom they'll associate.
Now, in the event you're asking yourself why Russia and what it does with or to Ukraine is important to America and Americans, the U.S. and China, of course, are the world's two main superpowers, and Russia wants badly to regain its status as the third, but with a reckless disregard for democracy, human rights, or respect of countries' sovereignty and independence. It would be a big, big problem. In the newsroom, Siafa Lewis, CBS 3 Eyewitness News.
Siafa, thank you for that.